What's up, guys? So earlier today, my buddy Andy and I joined a retailer call with Mark Waid to talk about DC's upcoming Absolute Power event. It's going to start in June, and I thought I would go over some of the things that were discussed. Now, we didn't really get any big spoilery information, no big secrets were revealed or anything like that, although we did get to see some artwork from Absolute Power #1 and a couple of preview images as well that has not been released yet. And they looked really cool. But after this call, I'm even more excited for this event than I already was, and I was already really excited for this event. Now, one of the main things that he talked about is the structure of the event, and it's all going to kick off in a one-shot called Absolute Power Ground Zero, and that's on FOC this weekend. So if you are interested in this event, be sure to pre-order that book this weekend, because that's where it's all going to get kicked off. And it is going to introduce readers to Failsafe and Queen Brainiac. So if you haven't been reading the current Batman title or all the House of Brainiac stuff, that's okay, because this issue will catch you up on who those characters are. But if you have been reading those and you already know who those characters are, that's okay too, because this issue is going to show how they start working together, how they start working with Amanda Waller to steal all the heroes' powers. He said that by the time Absolute Power #1 is released on July 3rd, there's not going to be a whole lot of setup going on, because that will have happened in that Ground Zero one-shot. He said they're going to hit the ground running in that issue, and that the heroes are already going to be kind of playing defense, kind of on their back foot for the entirety of that issue. Issue #2 is going to be released on August 7th, and there is a mystery foe that the heroes are going to have to face. We don't know who it is. He did not tell us who it is, but he did say that it's going to be a big surprise when it's revealed. But this foe, this villain, is going to attack the Fortress of Solitude, so that should be really interesting to see who that turns out to be. And he did briefly mention that in issue #4, which is the final issue of this series, that there is going to be a pretty big reveal in that speculators are going to really want to pay attention to. Now, in addition to the main series, there's going to be a 7-issue tie-in series called Absolute Power Task Force 7, and each issue is going to follow one of the Amazo robots, which are some of the villains of the story. You know, the Amazo robots have the ability to steal powers from heroes. Well, each Amazo robot in each one of these issues is going to siphon powers from a different member of the Justice League, but there will also be a connecting story throughout all 7 issues. And then on top of that, there's going to be a 3-issue miniseries called Absolute Power Origins, which is going to be essentially the evergreen origin story of Amanda Waller and how she got to the point she is today. And in addition to all of that, there will be 3 issues of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, their main ongoing titles, that will feed into this as well. I think originally it was reported that there would be a 3-issue Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman miniseries that also tied into all this, but they confirmed on the call today that that's just going to be in those already running ongoing titles. And there's going to be a few individual issues here and there that are related to this event as well. I believe issue #13 of Green Arrow will tie into this a little bit. They showed a checklist with everything that's on it. It's not a big, massive checklist, though. It's nothing like Marvel's current Blood Hunt event, where there's a whole bunch. I think there's like 60 different issues. Nothing like that whatsoever. It is much smaller. It's going to be much more easy to read and digest and understand. One thing that I was really excited about was he mentioned that there are going to be a lot of other heroes that are involved in this event as well. You know, since you have the big dogs in the Justice League depowered, we're going to see a lot of Green Arrow and Dreamer, who we have already seen sort of be in cahoots with Amanda Waller in various capacities. But he also mentioned various members of the Justice Society of America as well, and I think that's going to be really cool. One thing he mentioned that was really cool was that he doesn't really like events that don't really lead anywhere. He talks about, you know, there's a lot of events that do this big thing, but then you put all the toys back in the toy box and then put that back in the closet. And he said that that will not be the case for this event. He said that there will be 2 big things coming out of this event, one that is really good for the heroes and one that is really bad for the heroes. I have no idea what that is. He did not elaborate on that whatsoever, but I have to believe that this will result in some big things for the DC Universe. He also said that there's going to be a lot of new ongoing series spinning out of the end of Absolute Power. He said some of it we've been asking for a long time, and some of it we won't expect. And he also said that at the end of the event, there will still be a mystery that will continue through the rest of the year. He said it will still have a good finite ending, but there's still going to be a little bit more for us to chew on after it's over. And after all the Absolute Power stuff was over, we still had some time left, so they opened the floor to some Q&A from all the retailers that were on the call. And that was just really cool. There was a lot of people asking about World's Finest, which you guys know has been my favorite book on the stands for a couple of years now since it started. I think somebody asked if he was going to continue to write the book or if the book was ending or anything like that, and he said that they will have to pry World's Finest from his cold, dead hands because he is having such a blast writing that. And he said a big key to the success of World's Finest is Dan Mora and his amazing artwork. He said that Dan Mora just has a way of bringing out the absolute best in all these characters, and that's exactly what we've seen in World's Finest. So hopefully that means that Waid and Mora both will still continue to be on the World's Finest title, and it will still run for as long as it possibly can. There are a few more things discussed on the call, but that is the gist of it right there. Like I said, it's mostly about the Absolute Power event, and just listening to him talk about it made it sound so awesome. Like I said, I was already very, very excited for it, but now I think it is going to just be something really special. Andy and I have been speculating amongst ourselves for a few months now that we feel like DC is in the calm before the storm. DC's been kind of quiet the first half of this year, but I really and truly feel like the second half of 2024 is going to be huge for DC. I feel like they've just been sort of laying low, keeping their heads down until Absolute Power comes around, and then all of the things that might introduce, I think that is going to be really awesome. I'm so excited for DC and everything they're doing right now, and I hope you guys are too, because I just think they're doing some really, really good stuff. So I appreciate you guys listening to me ramble on about this. I didn't mean to make this video so long, but it was just such an awesome call. It was so fun to be part of that, and I really, really cannot wait for this event. So let me know if you guys are excited for this event. But yeah, I think it's going to be something really, really good.